Welcome to tutorialsinhand.com. In this video tutorial, we are going to see how to print table of 2 in Java using for loop. So this is also the interview question generally for the freshers. So generally when you go for the interview, your interviewer might ask you to write a Java program to print multiplication table of 2 or any number. For instance, I am going to take 2 at present and then we will modify it to print for any number by taking the user input from console, right? Let's take a number int num is equals to 2. So we are going to print the multiplication table of 2. Now for printing the multiplication table of 2, we are going to make use of for loop. So using for loop, what we have to do is, we know that multiplication table of 2 will be something like 2 into 1 is equals to 2, 2 into 2 is equals to 2. So you see that every time you print the multiplication table, the value of the second part, that is after multiplication sign, is incrementing one by one. So within this for loop we can do that, right? We can start from int I is equals to 0 because we want to start from 0, or you can start from 1 as generally you see in the books. So now it will print from what? 2 into 1 is equals to 2 into 2 is equals to 2 into 3 and so on. And we want to print till I is equals to 10. So I is less than or equals to 10. We will go up to that number. That means we will go up to 2 into 10, and once we reach 2 into 10, we don't want to print anymore. And every time in each iteration we want to increment the value by 1. Bracket somehow has been deleted, so let's take the bracket as well. Now what is happening is, we start from the value I is equals to 1 and we will move ahead by incrementing the value of I. During each iteration, the value of I will become increased from 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4 and so on. And within that, what we need to do? We need to get the product with the value of I during each iteration. So let's take another variable product and we have to write num into what? Num into I, and this will give you the product of 2 during each successive iteration. Now if you execute this, you will get, okay, we have not printed this one. Let's print this one. And if you print the product, you will see that you are getting the multiplication values of 2. See, you are getting 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 and till 20. How? It is because 2 into 1 will be 2 and it is coming from here. The value of num is 2 and it remains constant throughout the iteration, right? So num is always 2, and in the first iteration what will happen? We have initialized it to 1. So 1 will be less than equals to 10 and it will turn out to be true. So we will enter inside this loop, and then value of I plus plus is done, and this will come into effect in the next iteration. For this iteration, the value of I will remain as it is declared. So in the first iteration, when we enter inside, the value of I is 1. So we get 2 into 1. 2 into 1 will be 2. So we are storing it in product and we are printing over here. So 2 is getting printed. In the next iteration, as we informed that we have already done I plus plus, so the value of this I will become 2. And now 2 less than equals to 10 will be checked and it will turn out to be true. Once it turns out to be true, we will be able to enter the loop and the value of I is again incremented by 1, which will come into effect in the next iteration. So a value of I will be 3 for the next iteration, but here we will have the value of I as 2. So what will happen? 2 into 2 will give result as 4, which is stored in the product, and again it is printed over here, and so on. In the every successive iteration, the value of I will keep on incrementing and we will get the product because of this instruction, which will be stored in this product variable, and we will be printing each and every time, and as a result we get these values printed on the console. And once the I becomes 10, that means 10 is equals to 10 will be true. 10 less than is equals to 10 will not be true, right? So here you see there is a two condition. One is it is checking for less and it is also checking for equal. So when it becomes 10, then 10 is equals to 10 will turn out to be true. So it will be able to enter the loop. It will print 2 into 10 is equals to 20 and move out, right? And once it moves out, it becomes 11, and 11 is neither less than or neither is equals to 10, and as a result this becomes false, and once it becomes false we will not enter within the for loop, and thus our task ends. But this just prints the values, right? We are not getting the feeling of the multiplication table that we generally see. So now how do we get that feeling? So to get that feeling we have to get like 2 into 1 is equals to 2. So 2 is always constant in our case, and we are getting that value from this num. So let's write num, and then what we need? We need multiplication sign. So hard code the multiplication sign, then again do plus, and what you need? You need the value as 1, 2, 3, 4 in every successive iteration, so that you are getting from the I, right? So print I over here, and after I what you need? You need to give is equals to sign, and then finally you need to print the result. So you can either print product, or you can simply take this one and put it over here. You don't need an intermediate variable unnecessarily, so you can remove this one now, right? Because that value that you are storing in the product, you have directly written it over here. So these values that you are getting, you have already written over here, so you don't require product anymore. And now if you execute this, you will get the multiplication table. See, 2 into 1 is equals to 2, 2 into 2 is equals to 4, 2 into 3 is equals to 6, and till 20, and it looks so cool, right? Now what if your interviewer says, okay, it is good that you have hard coded this one, but I want you to give user the liberty to enter any number, and you have to just print the multiplication table for what he has requested you. In that case, how you will change this code? So in that case, you have to simply create scanner instance and something like this, and within that you have to take the input stream and then ask user to enter the number, right? So this will prompt the user to enter the number of his choice, and once he or she enters the number of his choice, you could store that number in num variable that you were earlier hard coding as 2. So now you are not hard coding, rather you will be accepting it from the console, and you will ask them to enter the integer value. See, next int. So this time they will enter the integer value and you will store it in num. And remember, whenever you open scanner, you have to close that, otherwise there will be data leakage. So you have to close this one, and now your code is perfectly fine. If you run it again, it will prompt you to enter the number. So if you enter 4 this time, you will get the multiplication table of 4 printed on the screen. And it's cool, right? It has printed your multiplication table for 4 from 1 to 10. Suppose your interviewer says that in some books we see that multiplication table is written up to 20. So you are printing only up to 10. So how do you increase this up to 20? To do that, you have to just increment the validity of this condition from 10 to 20. And once you change it to 20, you are saying that, okay, I will allow the value of I to be incremented till it reaches 20. And once it reaches 20, after that only I will not allow the entry within the loop. From 1 to 20, I will allow the entry. So it will keep printing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you will be getting 4 into 1, 4 into 2, 4 into 3, and so on till you reach 20, right? So if you execute this one, you will get the multiplication table up to 20. So now press 5 and take this one, and see, you are getting the multiplication table up to 20. So it's very easy, very simple. You just have to understand how this for loop works and how you can manipulate the things within the for loop to get your desired result. So this is how you can print the multiplication table for any number. And at the same time, we see that spelling mistake is there. We should correct this one. And now you will get, please enter the number. So once you execute this one again, and suppose this time we want it for 10, so we are getting this for 10. And this is how you can increase or decrease the value of I depending on till where you want to print the multiplication table, right? And if you don't want to start from 1, rather you want to start from any other number, suppose 5, so your table should start from 10 into 5, 2 into 5. If you want something like this, you can change the initializing number. So we have changed it to I equals to 5. So our multiplication table will now start from 10 into 5. If you execute this one and give 10, this time it will start from 10 into 5, 10 into 6, 10 into 7, because we have initialized it to 5. So starting number is 5. So that is why we are getting the multiplication table starting from 5. But this looks odd, right? You should always start from 1. But if interviewer in between asks these kind of questions, so you should be able to manipulate it to get the expected result or the result that he is expecting from you. So this is how you will get the multiplication table of any number till 20. Hope you have enjoyed this video tutorial, and if you have really learned something, then don't forget to subscribe our channel so that we also grow along with you. We will meet you in the next video tutorial. Till then, keep learning and keep enjoying.